Hello, this is Matt Moser, a partner with Alchemy Solutions, and today what I'd like to be able to do is cover with you the command line processing up underneath Fujitsu, and in particular one of the differences that you might find if you used a particular flavor within Micro Focus, and how easily it is to continue to use your program in the same way by calling your particular DLL in COBOL program. And so what you're looking at is NetCOBOL for Windows, and that's what we're going to focus on in this particular tutorial. The source code will be available up on the website at mosersoft.com, and so let's go ahead and we'll get going. We have our command line.exe, and we open up, expand to our source, and I'm going to open up command line here. I'm going to take a quick look at the program and basically cover what would wind up happening up underneath Micro Focus. Let me jump back one bit, if you just bear with me for a second, and we're going to go to call command line, because that's where we reflect what would happen underneath Micro Focus. So kind of continuing on a little bit, Micro Focus would have command line is your particular command line up underneath the special name section, and when we would take a little bit deeper look into this, what would wind up happening is your program would say accept some working storage item from my program command line, which we had up above. So these are just names that I put in here, but basically you have WS command line. You're accepting WS command line from the special names condition underneath Micro Focus. In order to continue with that and not change any of your logic, all you need to do is change your program to make one call. So anywhere where you see change me, in this example, we're changing the code, and in here you're going to add a line that says call command line using. I optionally put in here a message return, and that message return will notify you if there is no command line parameters. So continuing on, this is the executable, and those are the changes that you would need to make in order to be able to call to the DLL called command line, which basically mimics what Micro Focus's routine does. And everything else around here is pretty much optional, but mainly built in for the purpose of this demo. So close out of here, and I'm going to open up command line to give you a real brief of how that works. Fujitsu, it uses argument number and argument val, where argument number is the number of command line arguments, and argument val gets iterated through. So we'll go down to argument to how this particular program works. It's going to receive the command line that you wish to have loaded in there. It's the exact same one you probably used before. As long as it's PIC-X128, you'll be fine, and as well as a message. And again, the source is downloadable, so if you don't want to deal with the message, you can just pull this out and use the code as you wish. Moving on a little bit further, what winds up happening is, just from the meat of all of this, the first thing it's going to do is accept number of arguments from argument number, and then it's going to iterate in this paragraph, which you can look at when you get the code, getting the command line items until it reaches the number of arguments that were passed across, and that's filling in an array. And that's all that we're doing. We're just filling that array in for each individual item. Then the program concatenates depending on the number of arguments. So if the number of arguments was 2, concatenates item 1 and item 2, putting a blank in between them and filling in this command line. That's really about it. So if we wanted to, and we wanted to debug and animate through this, just a couple of things just to be aware of. Again, with debug, you need to have debug set, and just remember, in order to be able to do a debug, set your compiler option with test. If you don't have test, the debug will not animate. It won't happen for you. So I'm going to bring this back down. I apologize. You need to have test turned on, okay? So please don't forget that. And we'll go ahead and close out of this. And we can actually, there's two different ways that you can debug this thing or actually run it if you want. The first one is I am right clicking. I can say execute with arguments, and I can put my name in there, and I can say OK, and it runs, and you can see there's my command line received, Matt Moser. And then if we wanted to actually go into debug and animate through it, you have another option, and that is to go project, and we'll say debug. Automatically brings you in, and you can put in up underneath his execute time options 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll go through all of them so you can see they all get processed. And I'm going to click OK and pull this back down so you can see a little bit better, and you'll notice it says command line received all of them. So we executed in two different fashions, and you can do the same. So again, the source will be up there. This is Matt Moser with Mosersoft, and you can either reach me or reach out to Alchemy if you have any questions or concerns on debugging and command line processing. Until next time, take care, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.